Hey everybody, Nate here. Whew, I'm out of breath because I just pushed this helicopter up that hill. I know it doesn't look like very much, but it is. Here I'm in French Valley, beautiful day at the airport. We've got some snow on those mountains there, over there. That's San Jacinto, I think. Palm Springs right over their side, Banning Pass, and that's Big Bear and Arrowhead over those two. So had a little bit of weather the last week and pretty beautiful out. So yeah, light wind out of the north, which is kind of weird for here. But not too bad, blowing about 7, 10. I haven't checked the ATIS yet. So looks good. I'm gonna pre-flight, go fly.
French Valley traffic, helicopter 750 Gulf. We'll be on the go, taxiway 36, departing to the northwest, French Valley.
French Valley traffic, Mooney 3611 November, left downwind for 18, midfield.
French Valley traffic, helicopter 750 Gulf, departing the pattern to the northwest at the approaching Marion site, French Valley.
French Valley traffic, Mooney 3611 November, turn on a half-mile final for 18.
All right, well, and we're off. Getting about 80 miles an hour. Got a little bit of vibration here. Nothing too terrible. Headed off to the northwest. Go fly over the lake, do a little sunset tour, and come back to the airport before it gets dark. Set a little friction there. that's much better. So a couple of the things I did over the weekend was I installed ADS-B out and in. I don't fly with a phone or anything hooked up just yet. I'll probably do a knee board eventually, but I'll be able to get traffic and weather and updated maps, all that stuff I'll have on me on a knee board, which will be nice. So when I start doing some cross countries with this, I'll have all that available. So the traffic I think will really help around here. I'm pretty unfamiliar with the area. I've only been here for, well, only been flying here a few hours, and none of that here is cross country, other than Big Bear and my buddy's Cessna 206. That was a fun flight. Yeah, so I did ADS-B, and I got myself an intercom. Well, I always had the intercom. I just hooked it up. I had to ground one of the pins in the back. There's a push-to-talk for the intercom that's separate, and I had to ground that to the radio, to the shield in the back, so I could turn the intercom on. That went fairly well once I got the right pin and the right wire and everything done. So now I can hear myself talk, and you guys can hear me talk, I hope. We'll see if this records or not. I really want to reach out to Lightspeed and see if they'll hook me up with a deal on a Zulu 3 or a PFX. It'd be really nice to be able to record all this stuff on my phone without my iPhone cable in my ear in the headset, which is just kind of annoying, and just one more thing to have and like deal with during a flight. So that would be really nice, but we'll see what they say. Who knows? I don't have that many followers yet, subscribers to these videos, so we'll see. Yeah, so those two things basically took me all weekend. Kind of a pain in the butt, but that is one of the really, really cool things about experimentals, is that you're allowed to work on them yourself and sign off on things yourself. The only thing you can't do is your annual inspection or condition inspection. It happens every 12 months on an experimental. You either need to be the builder and have a repairman certificate for this specific aircraft, which I do not, because I was not the builder, or you need to be an A&P. So there's a couple local A&Ps that I've talked to that are happy to help me out and help me get my annual done. It's not due until December of this year, so I got about 8 months left before I have to do that. Yeah, but I can sign off all my own stuff. Pulled all of this apart over the weekend and dug into the wiring diagrams, see how everything was working and wired, and it was good. You know, the original builder did a really, really good job of that and keeping everything well documented and making everything make sense. There's a couple things that I would do differently, probably. I don't know if they were him or maybe somebody else had done those at some point, but I couldn't get the radio out the first time, and I've always struggled with removing radios and transponders and that kind of stuff, but I could not get it out, and I struggled. I finally said, you know what, I'm just going to pull this little panel with the radio in. I got the transponder out, no problem, and turns out the altitude encoder for the transponder was velcroed on top of the radio. So the radio was loose, but when I was pulling it, the altitude encoder was hitting the back of these gauges here and wouldn't let it come out anymore. So that was kind of weird. You know, when you look at it from the top, it looks like it's just a big metal box. So I'm assuming that someone said, oh, hey, cool, I'll just go ahead and put the altitude encoder right here. Although it's backwards, you can't get to the adjustments from inside the panel. So you got to take everything out anyway if you ever do have to adjust it, which is kind of a hassle. But so I'd probably do that differently. Maybe find a better spot for that, but it is pretty tight back there, and there's now a GPS back there as well. So that's even a little tighter, the GPS for the ADS-B. So anyway, Juan did a great job building this, and I really appreciate all of the effort that he put in to make everything basically perfect. Just well thought out, well documented, which is really nice to have. So yeah, well, here we are coming up on Canyon Lake. I know we're looking right into the sun at this point. We're doing about 85 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour. Go for a little cruise over the lake. We got wind out of the north, so it's coming from the right to the left. So I'm just going to keep that in mind as I kind of cover some of these hills and fly around this area. Man, what a beautiful night. Now these hills, man, you're always on the wrong side. I got my GoPro hooked to the headset hook in the back, but these hills on the left, I can see them, not these, but the ones over there out my kitchen window. And right about 6:30, 6:45, it just turns magic because of the shadows. So I'm going to turn around and do a loop so that you guys can see what I'm talking about, hopefully. See how pretty that is, but man, just everything over here on the right is just gorgeous. It's beautiful. Let's see if any of my friends are out here in the lake. Nice little breeze. My buddy's flag. Got some boaters out. Just gorgeous evening, man. Last week we had so much crappy weather. It just rained like all week last week. That combined with the quarantine, like couldn't go out and do anything. It was just rough. It was a very boring week last week, and yeah, I was not super excited about that. Tennis courts are still closed, which is a bummer. Alright, so coming up on my house here. Got some guys fishing in the backwater. Stand-up paddler. So here I am, I'm steady at 1,900 feet, got 70 miles an hour, and I'm going to see if I can do a little orbit around my house here, and maintaining that altitude and airspeed. Now I'm drifting way off. Too tight. Alright, well, let's do this. Let's come around here.
French Valley traffic, Cessna 268, transitioning 3 miles south of the field, east to west 4,500 French Valley. French Valley traffic, Eagle I-31, single V22, descending out of the Cleveland National Forest, north of Lake Elsinore, proceeding south. What's your altitude? Eagle I-31 is at 5,500. French Valley traffic, Cessna 268, 2 miles south of French Valley and transitioning east to west, 4,500 French Valley.
These are all super fun mountain biking trails back here. Well, it's been a while since I've been on them, but go see if my buddy Jeremy is at home. Man, these hills are so pretty. French Valley traffic, Eagle I-31, single V22 at 5,500 over Lake Elsinore, proceeding southbound to Miramar. Alright, that's enough of that. That's fun.
Traffic center 268 is 1 mile west of Temecula, 4,500 at the Osprey site. We're heading westbound below the French Valley. A little bit of exploring to do back here.
Valley traffic, Centurion, white, brown Centurion, 10 miles out to the west of Mountain Landing, French Valley, descending to 4,900.
Oh, I forgot to do a lap. Alright, I'm gonna go do a lap, show you guys the hills. Man, look at that snow, it's beautiful. Like I say, this is pretty amazing. And everything's running great. Beautiful day out. Little off-road car cruising down there. Tunnel back there or something. So we come wake surf back here. Water ski, wakeboard. Not so much water ski. There's slalom course, but this is the section that you can have wake enhancing devices. Back here called the backwater, the north side of the lake. Pretty cool back here. Aw man, and I missed the sun on the hills. Sorry guys. Alright, let's pull some power here. There we go.
French Valley traffic, brown and white Cessna Centurion after departure end of 18. We're going to be circling around, making a 45 left traffic for 18 French Valley.
And look how pretty it is out here. I don't like this light. Oh well.
French Valley traffic, Mooney 3611 November, taking 18 for departure, straight out.
French Valley traffic, white, brown Centurion. We're about 3 miles southeast, entering a 45 for left traffic for 18 French Valley. French Valley traffic, helicopter 750 Gulf over Canyon Lake, 2,400. Inbound for right traffic, taxiway 18 French Valley. Valley traffic, brown and white Cessna on downwind left traffic 18 French Valley.
It's getting a little chilly. I turn my strobes on just so people can see me.
Outside traffic, brown white Cessna, base, left traffic 18 French Valley.
1 Celsius. Dew point 0, altimeter 3006. French Valley Airport, automated weather observation 0210 Zulu, weather, wind, calm, visibility 10.
All right, wind calm, so we are going to be taxiway 18. I take some friction off here because I like to get the feel for this a little better.
French Valley traffic, helicopter 750 Golf. 3.5 miles to the west, we'll be entering right downwind for taxiway 18, French Valley.
I'm going to avoid these hills, fly left, kind of enter into a left base here, since nobody's around. Look how pretty it is. Man, it's gorgeous. There's the Santa Rosa Plateau off to the right. Man, this house is cool. I really like it.
French Valley traffic, helicopter 750 Golf. Right base, taxiway 18, French Valley. French Valley traffic, helicopter 750 Golf. Turning right base to final, taxiway 18, French Valley.
I want to come out of this turn about 50. Alright, now I want to have a really nice set down here. I don't think that. Okay, we are down. Everything's good.